Many years ago, I raised a rabbit. I was very young, so my memories are vague, and it was all told to me by my mother. I was about 3 years old at the time. One day, my mother found a rabbit somewhere, apparently picked up from the road. I was extremely happy and treated it like a treasure. At that time, I used to love sleeping in, and could sleep until noon if no one woke me up. But everything changed after I got the rabbit. I would wake up at 6 a.m. every day and search for the freshest grass with dewdrops to feed it. I would carry a small backpack with me, along with a small sickle, and hurry up the mountain without washing my face or having breakfast. I was ecstatic at the time, feeling the joy of doing things for others. I was very picky while cutting the grass. If a blade was too old or covered in dirt, I would reject it because it might upset the rabbit's stomach. I discovered only one type of grass that met my standards, so I would search for it all over the mountain and would barely fill half my backpack. By the time I returned home, it was almost 9 a.m. I also had a plan, one hillside today, another tomorrow. This way, the rabbit would always have fresh grass to eat. When I returned home, I would ignore my own hunger and feed the rabbit first, sitting by its side with my own food. Watching the rabbit munch on the fresh grass I'd worked so hard to get for it, my meager food would suddenly taste much better. However, for some reason, the rabbit died within a week. My mother said I cried a lot at the time. Later, we braised the rabbit, which smelled great, but I insisted on not eating a single bite. When I asked my mother why the rabbit died, she told me that rabbits cannot eat grass with dew on it. She didn't know the exact reason, but it might cause diarrhea. In other words, the grass I had worked so hard to get for the rabbit was actually poisonous for it. And my meticulous care was reduced to a flavoring for braised rabbit. In fact, this kind of thing happens often, and we are unaware of it. Husbands work tirelessly to provide their families with better living conditions. Parents exhaust themselves to buy homes in good school districts for their children. But most people's abilities are limited, so they are forced to work overtime and do meaningless work every day, damaging their health, spending less time with their families, and feeling anxious every day. Actually, many times we don't have to go to great lengths. Even though our purpose is not for ourselves but for our families, we can reduce our desires. Let our desires be within our capabilities, with less ambition and more time spent with our families. I have a friend who has a very open-minded perspective. He said that grandchildren will have their own blessings, so don't exhaust oneself for them. We don't have to strive for our children to be outstanding. Instead, we should focus on their healthy growth, provide them with a happy childhood, and not let their childhood be filled with endless training, causing them to lose interest in learning at an early age. We don't have to make every meal extravagant. Instead, we should prioritize spending quality time with our family and finding happiness in simple family meals. Happiness is never materialistic, it is spiritual.